Well, hey there, ladies, and welcome to 5 Focus Secrets, the free challenge that I'm doing this week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share it into my tribe so that they can join in along. I hope that you guys have had an absolutely amazing Monday. It's been incredible here in Melbourne. There we are. Share into a group. There we go. Alrighty, are you excited to get diving in? Hey Tony, how you going? Welcome. Hopefully my voice holds out. I've been a little bit croaky. I'm actually well and truly on the mend, but well, 2-year-olds sneeze in your face and they're sick for 24 hours and you're sick for a week. It's pretty much just how it goes, isn't it? Today, I am going to be talking about building your vision, the single most important thing that most entrepreneurs are overlooking and why you should put time into it. But before I dive into that, I want to tell you a little bit about what this week of training is all about. I'm going to be going live every night this week at 8, except maybe Thursday, which I haven't quite figured out. I've managed to double book myself, but you guys will get something on Thursday. I absolutely promise that. And it's really off the back of, you all know I did some research recently and I've been talking to a lot of ladies, and the thing I'm hearing most is I don't know where to focus. I don't know where to spend my energy. I don't have enough time to do all of the things that we have on our lists as entrepreneurs. I'm feeling really busy. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know how to know where I need to step next. Closely followed by, I'm sick and tired of having hit and miss months of, never knowing how much revenue is going to come in, or not being able to get my business to grow consistently, or people aren't listening to what I've got to say. You guys, let me know. Give me a yes or a thumbs up if that is you. If you have experienced some of that, I'm going to put my hand up. I know that I absolutely have experienced that in my business. Tony says, hell yes. It's really frustrating, right? And so I thought, what's the best way that I can help you with that is to give you 5 areas where I focus in my business and that I work through with my clients around. If you are feeling stuck, it gives you something to come back to go, okay, how do I kind of realign, recenter, and get back to what's most important? And how do I know I'm focusing on those top 5% of activities that are actually going to move me forward? Because as mums, well, anybody in business really, but particularly as mums, most of you are probably working a job as well as your business, as well as running the house and doing all the stuff that comes with mum life. We don't have time to tie a bow on it, and so I want to help you come up with the things that are most useful for you to help you kind of get back to it. Hey, Renee, how you going? I'm so glad you could join us live. So this is what we're going to be covering this week. You guys are absolutely not alone. I see this with my clients all the time, and I still experience it myself. And so my goal is in getting you through these 5 tips that I'm going to cover one each night. So hopefully it won't be too much, and it's something that you can then go and put action or into action in your business. And I would love for you to report back, jump into the tribe and tell us about what you've done or what your takeaway was from the training. So these are the 5 things you're going to be learning, and bear with me, I'm going to go through it all tonight. I won't do this every night, but I want this for people to be able to go, yeah, that's something I want to sign up to. So you're going to learn the number 1 secret to getting focused right that most people completely overlook. Now, this is the thing that is responsible for shifting how I think about my business, and it actually results in 90% of my inspiration. So new ideas that I come up with, what I'm going to talk to you guys about on the Mums in Biz show, all of that comes from this one thing that I'm talking about tonight, which is vision. The second thing is how I deal with the spinning head syndrome. Can I get a yes if everybody, please tell me I'm not the only one who gets that spinning head syndrome where you just like, I don't freaking know what I need to say, my messaging isn't on point, and just it stops so many women from getting it right and how they show up. And so that we don't knock ourselves out of the game, because let's face it, getting all up in our noggins about our messaging really isn't doing us any favors at all. Renee says yes. Thank you, Renee. Now, the third thing we're going to cover will be my approach to ensuring that you are actually working on the 5% moneymaker activities. I talked about these just before, rather than diligently working away on all the stuff that just isn't going to increase your bottom line. We are going to cover why you aren't seeing those results yet as well. That is Wednesday's night's training. Then we're going to talk about how to figure out what the heck you are meant to be doing with your marketing strategy so that you are finally getting traction and attracting those ideal clients. And I'm talking like attracting them, bees to a honeypot kind of attracting them, without all of that, what do I say, overwhelm that I'm pretty sure is plaguing you right now. And finally, we're going to wrap it up with what to do when you have lost your way and have no idea which way to go next in your business. Why this one thing is something that nearly everyone is doing badly, and you can get a leg up over your competition by getting this right every single time. So that will be on Friday. So there's lots of goodness coming over the next 5 days. I hope that you'll be able to join me. Now, these trainings, as you know, I share them into the tribe. If you haven't joined the Mums in Biz tribe, well, then what on earth are you waiting for? It's such an amazing group of ladies. Jump in there right now. And also, if you want lifetime access to these recordings so that you can go back and kind of listen for different nuggets, we often, when you're in a different frame of mind, you might hear something that's a little bit different, then sign up for the training. It's the bit.ly link above this video, bit.ly/5 focus secrets. Now, if you have any dramas with any of that, be sure to ask me questions, and I hope that you guys are going to chat to me as we go along tonight, because I love hanging out, I love getting feedback, and it's a heck of a lot more fun that way too. All right, so the thing that most people skip over is vision. Now, you all might be sitting there saying, well, hang on a minute, Nick, I've got a vision. I'm going to challenge you on that tonight. Let's see if you really do. One of the most neglected and poorly done things that we do in our business is our vision. Now, the reason that it's important, and I'll start here, is this is why everybody talks about goal setting. This is why we talk about, our purpose and our ideal life need to start out with the end in mind. That's exactly why. We need to start with the end in mind. If you don't know where you are going, then it's absolutely impossible for us to chart a path to get there. And there are a couple of things that we're going to talk about over these next 5 days which will help you chart the right path. Because have you heard stories about people who work their absolute butts off, build an amazing, incredibly successful business, and then get to the other end and go, well, hang on a minute, this is not what I wanted. I've built the wrong business, and they're stuck in this machine which requires a lot more of them, or different parts of them than they thought was going to be required. Getting your vision right is part of the way to avoid that conundrum. It's about saying, I know where my business is going. I know what it's going to look like. I know where I'm going to get to. And when we plan and take really deliberate action towards something that we can visualize, it's there, I can see it, I know exactly what it's going to feel like, look like, smell, taste, all of the goodness that comes with having a really strong vision, then you're able to work towards that. Having a vision and having the right vision also gives you something to align against, and that's really, really important. What I find with, I would say, 99% of the mum entrepreneurs that I speak to, having a really connected business and being really heart-centered and true in what we're trying to achieve through our businesses is one of our number one drivers. In order to achieve that, though, you have to be aligned, and you can't be aligned unless you have a vision to align to. We think we're aligned. We can be values aligned. We can be true to some of our belief systems and, you know, the way that we kind of pull things together, the message that we want to put out. Oh, thanks, Tony. That's so lovely. But unless you have a vision to align to, that's kind of, you're being aligned in the here and now. Does that make sense? Rather than drawing out the string on your bow to that end point. When you're able to be aligned to the vision and where you're going to get to, that's when you start to be able to chart your path, be able to make decisions, really smart decisions about the things that you're going to do next. And most importantly, you stop just taking action. And I'm going to pause for a minute there, and I would love to get some feedback from you. Who finds that the online world right now can get a little bit overwhelming because everybody is yelling at us to take action? Get your funnel right. Do Facebook advertising. Know the platforms you're going to show up on. Who's your ideal client? What's your messaging? What's your offer? How are you structuring things? You know, step outside your comfort zone. Just do that next thing. Doesn't matter, you know, like who has felt that? I know I have. It's a really, really noisy environment. And so we get stuck kind of going, okay, well, if I have to have all of this stuff in my business for my business to be successful, how on earth am I going to achieve that? And everybody's saying, just take action. So I'm just going to keep feverishly taking action. Well, I'm saying, stop that. Take a deep breath. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is focus on the right things that get you towards your vision and keep you in alignment with what you want to achieve. And Tony's saying, yep, absolutely exhausting, confusing. Leanne says, yes, definitely feel like this. I completely agree with you because I felt like that too. Sometimes I still do. And the reason or the way that I get back to that feeling not driving me, and I felt like this in like literally as recently as the last week, particularly when you get a bit tired and a bit like I've been a bit run down, and all of a sudden all the things start going around and around in my head and I forget what's important, and then I don't know which way's up. The way that I get back to it is I come back to my vision. So let's get into a little bit more detail around this. First, I'm going to tell you my vision story. Most of you know, or maybe some of you know, I have been in, so I've been a consultant for 20 years. I finished a couple of weeks ago, yay! But I have also had a business on the side of my corporate. I'm going to call the corporate the hustle and the business the thing I really like. I hope you guys are okay with that. That's kind of how it's been feeling. And that was with a business partner. And we didn't have that end vision. Well, no, we had an ideal life vision. We did not have a business vision. And there were many things that we didn't do right. This wasn't the only thing. But it resulted in us kind of spinning our wheels a bit. We were, you know, randomly trying to learn content marketing and a whole bunch of different things. You know, probably don't need to tell you that we didn't get terribly far and that business didn't survive. In fact, our partnership didn't survive, and that is a story for another day. But what I found was after my second child was born, my beautiful youngest, joyful and completely nutballs crazy toddler was born, I had a really tough time. I ended up with postnatal depression, and it was hard to get through that stage. And I felt trapped. I felt trapped in my corporate. I felt trapped because our business wasn't working the way we wanted it to. I felt like there was no way out. I felt like I couldn't see a way through for us as a family financially. You know, how are we going to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was in a really good paying job. We were in a good financial situation. What I couldn't see was how we would be able to get into an even better financial situation without me just working harder, which was pretty much what that relationship was like. And some of you might be able to relate to that. And so I sat down one day and thought, okay, well, if I'm going to do something differently, And this was after I was out of the murk of BND. I certainly couldn't have done it when I was in the middle of it. But I looked back and I sat there and I thought, okay, well, what are the things that I love about what I do? Coaching was absolutely one of them. Helping people be better leaders, helping them lead their people, helping them focus on the things they needed to focus on to get the business outcomes that they were looking for. And plain old just helping people be the best that they could be. Those are the sorts of things that I really loved about my consulting world. And what clicked for me was when I realized that I had been through this incredible journey. I was, coming out the other side of a really tough time, but had to go through quite a lot of change around my confidence and how I showed up and how I defined success and all of that kind of good stuff as I had returned to work. And I also realized that in my not good days after Ellie was born, and you only realize this kind of thing in retrospect, but when I wasn't good, my whole family kind of fell apart. My girls went off the rails. We had a bad day with them. My hubby didn't cope. Like, the family unit centered around mum. And I don't think that's me specific. I think that's really common. And so there's this extra pressure that we all know that we put on ourselves as mums. And there are women out there who love being able to do something else. They love using their skills and their intellect and their experience and their passion and their drive to make a difference for someone. And that's when it all kind of clicked for me, because I thought, okay, well, I can help professional women who want to start a small business. I know how to coach. I know how to take them through that confidence journey. And my passion piece was, if I can help them be as confident and as comfortable and empowered in themselves as they can be, well, then that changes their family reality. And that was where my vision kind of solidified for Nick T Coaching. And so I know that my vision for my business is where I'm able to help hundreds and thousands of women who are that woman, the professional women who want to have a business, who want to make a difference and who want to grow it. But there's a really hard journey, right, to get there, isn't there? We all know that it's all about mindset. That's what keeps me centered. Have any of you had that emotional click when you started your business? I would love to get some feedback from you, a yes or even a bit more detail around that in the comments. Tell me if this is making sense for you when I talk about vision, when I describe that story of mine, what comes up for you? There's a little bit of a delay, so I'll keep talking, but please share so that I can come back into that. So what that meant for me was I had this real sense of certainty. I know now exactly what I want to do. My business literally since then has not felt like work, which is a ridiculous thing to say, because sometimes I do just insane amounts of hours, but I absolutely love it because I'm so aligned to my vision and where I want to go. I'm not saying it's easy. It's friggin' not easy. It's really hard some days. That's not what I'm saying at all. But the alignment makes a massive difference. And it gives me alignment around my message and my cause as well. Does this make sense? Let me know. Alison says, I love vision work. I've been thinking about that a lot on the holidays. Awesome. I would love to hear more about that, Alison. What's coming up for you around your vision? So if we can agree that that vision is important, and if we can understand that, okay, yeah, I need to be aligned, I need to know where I'm going in my business. What is the difference then between having a life vision and a business vision? There is a lot of talk, and I talk about it a lot also because it is actually really important, about your ideal life. What is that life that you are working towards? Where do you want to be living? How do you want to be living? How much do you want to be working? Who do you want to be working with? What does that look like? For me, we know exactly where we want to be living. In fact, that's why we relocated to Victoria. This is actually another point. Vision drives your activity to grow your business. Your ideal life, you can start making that happen right now. In fact, I highly encourage you to do so, because that starts your journey around your mind reprogramming to believe that that reality can be true, and to start to trust yourself that you can make that happen. And you don't have to put all the pressure on your business to make that happen. It is one piece of the puzzle. Okay, so they're really quite different, this whole ideal life concept and your business vision. Spend time on life vision, spend time on ideal life. Absolutely. That is not what we're going to spend time talking about tonight, though. You have to have a view about what is the purpose of your business? Why does it exist? Apart from making money for you and your family to achieve your goals and dreams and what you want to be able to do, why does it exist? My business exists to help professional women, professional mums specifically, build and grow, establish and grow a business that they feel really connected to and that makes an impact for them. And if you've heard about my mission is about helping them do that by helping them become empowered CEOs. That's what I'm driven to do. What is the purpose of your business? Why does it exist? Who do you help and how? These are all parts of your vision. What impact is it going to make? Where is your business going to be in a year, in 5 years? You may have more than one vision. I need to be careful saying this, actually. So I believe that you have a single vision for your business, but you might have iterations of it along the timeline journey. So you might say, this is my vision, this is where we're going to be in 1 year, but in 5 years, this is what it's going to look like. And in 10 years, this is what it's going to look like. People are different in terms of how far out they like to plan, but those might be quite different, and that's okay. I also think that it is really important to have that vision of what that's going to be in 1 year, so that if you only build a 10-year vision, while it is good to have something there that scares the pants off you, if you've only got something that scares the pants off you, that can make it really hard to stick with it and sort of work towards that, particularly if you're kind of back here a bit on your confidence journey. You have to build the trust in yourself that you can achieve it. And so that's why I recommend that you think about, okay, if this is my business vision, and you can start, your purpose probably isn't going to change, why you exist, who you help and how, that's not going to change. Your magnitude of impact might change. What your business looks like, the types of services that you're able to offer, those things might change over time. And so if you have a 1 year vision and then the bigger vision, that helps you build trust in yourself to get there. And we'll talk about that a bit more later this week in some of the other trainings that are coming up. So you do also want to include how much it's going to be earning, how many people it's going to be helping, and that kind of stuff. So you want to get specific. Start with the high level stuff, but make sure you do kind of bring it down and get to this is well-rounded. You want to be able to sit there and imagine yourself running your business in that place, because that's how you figure out what sort of CEO you need to be and how you need to be showing up now. So that's how specific you need to get to your vision. Is this making sense? Oh, we've got a few comments. Tony says, didn't have the vision initially, but need to work on it now. Renee, yep, that's you. Thanks. Good. Hey, Mel, you made it. Oh, your little munchkin has finally gone down, I hope. Fingers crossed for you. Renee says, I've got a long-term vision that looks nothing like where you are. So break up your vision. Everybody is different, Renee, but I would say, how do you feel about the long-term vision? Is that something that you feel is possible? Can you see a line of sight of how you're going to get there? And is just having periodic goals to get there enough for you? Or do you need to go, this is what it's going to look like in 12 months' time, but this is what it's going to look like in 5 years? And so there isn't one answer to that. Different people approach it in different ways. I have a 5-year vision, and I break that up into my goals of where I want to be in the next 12 months and bring that back through 90 days. That's my goal planning process. And I've got a few conflicted to confident students on with me tonight here, and they would know that because that's what I teach in C2C. But I have also worked with clients who really, really needed to have a vision as a 1 year, because where they wanted to go to was really, really different. Let me know if that answers your question. Yep. Okay. No line of sight. Yep. Okay. Okay. Exactly. Good. Hopefully, let me know if you've got any other questions there, and all the rest of you who are watching. If you've got questions, I would love to hear them. All right. So let's recap. If you don't know where you're going, how can you help yourself get there? The reason that I said at the start of tonight's training is that not only is it a very overlooked thing that we forget to do, it's also quite badly done. What I mean by that is there is a tendency to believe that having a vision or a mission is some lofty, on a piece of paper kind of activity that is, soft and fluffy and lovely to do, but doesn't really add any value to your business. If you have a soft and fluffy vision, then you're not doing it right. I'm just going to put that out there, and it's probably time to come back to it and revisit it. I'm going to give you some questions to kind of sit with if you've got absolutely no idea where to get started in a moment. So what was I saying then? I've completely lost my train of thought. If you don't know where you're going, how can you help yourself get there? Visions done badly. Yeah, and so there's a couple of different types of people. Sometimes people will be so caught up in their vision activity that they never get out of it. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to get so caught in dreaming and planning and, just believing that something's going to happen and closing your eyes and waiting for it, that you never take action. You won't grow your business unless you take action. So don't go to that end of the spectrum. But don't discount it as not important. And I think that, the different types of people respond differently to this activity. And that's why it's something that either gets overlooked as fluffy, done badly because you get stuck in it, or you don't bring it down to be concrete enough. So how do you sit down and work out what your vision is? Tony says visions versus reality. Can you give me a little bit more detail of what you mean by that, Tony? That would be awesome. If you don't believe that your vision is ever going to be a reality, then I would question whether you have the right vision. But let's talk about these next questions, and I'll come back to that while you're clarifying. So how to sit down and work out what your vision is. Some people get really stuck about what their purpose is. They don't really know yet what it is that drives them. And that can be one of the things that stop us from getting the vision sorted. That's completely okay. So what I'm going to do now is give you a couple of questions that you can sit with, or perhaps journal. That works really well for people. In fact, I encourage it, and I encourage that you do it in like a, pen on paper kind of way. I definitely do that whenever I'm pretty paperless in my business, but if I'm stuck or trying to figure something out, or I don't know the answer and I can't quite, like things kind of sit just out here, just outside your consciousness, and you're like, I can't make that concrete. That's when I start writing, and it often changes and solidifies things for me, this stream of consciousness. So that's what I recommend. So what is the change in your customers that you are most lit up about? Start with your business now, or the business that you want to be doing if you've imagined that already. Think about the things that light you up. When you help your customer achieve something, let's say that you have a business in health and fitness, is it helping them form great eating habits that really lights you up? And just, that energy that you get when you get off a call with a client, or, get some feedback from a client where they're like, this is what I achieved, and you want to jump out of your skin. You're so excited for them. That's the light up bit I'm talking about. So maybe this health and fitness coach, it's about helping them really turn around healthy habits and start eating for their body. And it's not about losing weight, it's about being really healthy and other things. I'm clearly not a health and fitness coach. Maybe it's about getting great habits in place around exercise, and all of a sudden this person loves exercise and they can't wait to do that, and it's a really important part of their lives. Maybe it's a holistic change. Maybe it's maybe you're somebody who teaches oils, and when you get a breakthrough with a client of really understanding how that can make a difference in a clean and healthy home. Think about your customers and their results and what you get most lit up about, and write that down. Think about the thing that you most love doing in your business. So I love talking to people. I love the coaching. And more than that, I really, really love group coaching. I love watching people get lit up and have a breakthrough and then start interacting and supporting each other. That's something I'm super passionate about. So what do you love doing in your business? Those are the things that will be starting to give you clues around what your purpose and impact is going to be. What is the thing that when you start talking about it, you just can't shut up? You know that if somebody gets you onto your platform, I forget what it's called, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to come back to that, Tony. I'm about to lose my train of thought. That you will not shut up. You keep going and going and going, because you want to convince the people that you're talking to about the merit of what you've got to say. Write that down and think about, what are the skills that you've got that you feel most proud about having acquired? What are the experiences that you've had that you look back on as having learnt the most? Those are the sorts of things that are going to give you clues around what your true purpose is. That's why I told my story at the start of the training. What happened was it all kind of started to come together for me as my purpose. What I love doing, what I love about my job, and the things that I know I'm good at. Who I want to make a difference for. The things about my experience and my journey that I want to be able to help other people with. And then that final piece of the puzzle was being able to turn that into an impact for the families of the women that I work with. You will find that as you start to journal and explore these, your purpose will solidify. And then from your purpose, then you start to answer those other questions around so I'll rephrase that. I'll say those again for you. What is your purpose? Why does your business exist? Who do you help and how? What impact are you going to make? And what is the magnitude of that? Where will your business be in a year? Where will your business be in 5 years? How much will it be earning? How many people will it be helping? How will you be working to drive an impact through your business? Those are the things that form up your vision. Now, Tony asked a question, said, so the vision is the shorter term, or can it be the dream? Vision is the dream. What I'm saying is it's okay to bring that back in a little bit closer. You don't have to only think about what's far off in the future. Now, if I've just confused the heck out of you with that, then think about your vision as the dream and the long term of where you're going to get to. But know that it's really, really important that you also have a pretty solid view around what that looks like in 12 or 18 months. And the reason I say that is, in my experience, the ladies that I talk to, when they have this really, really big vision out at 5 or 10 years and they can't see how they're going to get there, and they maybe are a little bit earlier on in their confidence journey, maybe they don't believe in themselves, they might not realize that, but they've got these subconscious beliefs that are sabotaging them and holding them back, and they don't trust themselves to do what it takes to get to that vision. Sometimes that vision's too scary. So I'm not saying don't have it. I'm saying it's really important. What I'm also saying though is if that just scares the shit out of you, then bring it in and you can always go back out again later. Does that make sense? Please let me know if that's making sense around this idea of a big vision and how far out you want to set that. I'm getting kisses from Tony. Hopefully that's answered your question. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to spend some time doing some journaling. Go and make yourself a cup of tea or grab a glass of red wine, whatever your tipple of choice might be, and just spend a little bit of time writing it out. I would love to hear from you. Jump into the tribe and tell us what your business vision is. Or if you get completely stuck, write a couple of dot points and put out the thoughts that you're thinking and say, hey, what do you think? I'm really struggling to pull this into a vision. This is not an easy thing to do, and it's okay if you don't nail it straight away. It just needs to be something that you focus on. Does that make sense? Vision evolves, we grow, and that's okay. That's really important, actually. My vision for my business now is very different to what it was at the start of the year because I've allowed myself to make it bigger. Earlier in the year, I was too scared to make it big because I didn't even trust or believe that I could do the things that I wanted to do. And so I've grown and I've built on my journey of trust in myself and belief. I think that's where I'm going to leave that. So I would love to hear your homework of vision and where you feel you're at the moment. Some of the things that I love working through with my clients is helping them with this big picture stuff, helping them solidify that, helping them get through the steps that they need to have in place to be working towards their goals, and to do that while they're still achieving tangible stuff. You know, bring our heads out of the clouds, get that clarity where we're like, yep, I know exactly where I'm going. That's what that looks like. That's the sort of stuff that is super important to me. That's the sort of stuff that we focus on in the Empowered CEO Academy. I'm not going to bore you with details tonight. I'm hoping that you will all be super excited to hear more about it as the week goes on. But registrations for this amazing group program are open at the moment, and I'm only taking 10 ladies. So do sit with it. Have a think about where you're at. Have a think about it. If you've got questions and it hasn't made sense in terms of your vision, and if you don't know where you're going, maybe you do need to talk to someone, a business bestie, somebody who is a confidant, your business coach, or reach out to me if you've got questions as well. I would be honoured to help you with that. Okay, a couple of last questions before I sign off. Leanne says, I've just realised my 6 to 12 month goals for this business I have started is actually your vision. That's really interesting, Leanne. And so that's your close vision. And have you got a big vision? I would love to know that. And I would love to know how connected you feel to it. Does that help you make decisions about things you need to do next to get there? Tony says, see you tomorrow night. Awesome. I would love to see you tomorrow night as well, Tony. I've actually gone on way longer than I intended to tonight, so hopefully you guys have stuck with me. Clearly I lose my ability to be articulate after about 8:30 at night anyway, so I think it's time that I went. All right, my loves, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow and hearing about your vision journey. Take care and talk soon. Bye-bye.